Okay, so our topic for today is the week 8 in your LMS, which is the percentage tax. So in our previous session, we discussed about the value-added tax. So here we are going to discuss the percentage tax as the final tax on the gross receipts of the business. Because percentage tax is applicable to those businesses who are not or a non-VAT registered business. Okay, so our learning objectives here is to define what is a percentage tax and to identify the percentage tax rates in each line of the business. So what is a percentage tax? The percentage tax is also a form of a business tax which is regulated under the National Internal Revenue Code of the Philippines, which is imposed on individuals and businesses that sell or lease of goods or services with an annual sales not exceeding 3 million pesos under the RA 10963, or they are not earning annual income of 3 million pesos. That's the first one. And the second one, if the registration of the business is a non-VAT. Okay, in order that our gross income or gross receipt is subject to percentage tax, they have two conditions. First, the business is not earning more than 3 million pesos in a year, and they are not a VAT registered business, but they are registered as non-VAT. Okay, so what are the list of individuals and businesses subject to percentage tax? Of course, the first is the individuals. That's the first one, the individuals who are not a VAT registered business and their income is not earning more than 3 million pesos in a year. And also individuals who leases residential units where the monthly rentals exceeding 15,000 pesos, but the aggregate rental, kasi aggregate, the totality of the rent per unit is not more than 3,000 in a year. Okay? So what are those individuals or businesses engaged in the following industries that is subject to percentage tax? First, the franchise grantees of gas, water, utilities, radio, and TV broadcasting with a revenue of not more than 10 million and did not optimize to register as a VAT. It means those are the franchises which are not converted to VAT registered and they are not earning more than, or they are earning not more than 10 million pesos in a year. The cars for rent and hire, domestic and international air shipping carriers, banks and non-bank intermediaries, individuals, company or corporations doing life insurance, fire, marine or agents of foreign insurance companies, operators, lessee of cockpits, clubs, exhibitionists, pro basketball games, racetracks, high alay, music lounges under the revenue regulation number 18-2010. So those are the percentage tax rates as the final tax on the gross receipts of the business who are non-VAT registered business or individuals. So what are the percentage tax rates? For the non-VAT registered under Section 109B, of course, 3% of the gross receipts. For the domestic carriers and keepers of garage, 3% of the gross receipts. For the international air shipping carriers doing business in the Philippines, that is also 3% of the gross sales or receipts. For as long as the transport of cargo originated from the Philippines, that will go to the foreign country. And for the franchise grantees, of course, for the franchise of gas and water utilities, 2% of the gross receipts. And for the radio, television, broadcasting companies whose annual gross receipts of the percentage here do not exceed 10,000 and did not optimize to register as bad taxpayer, that is 3% of the gross receipts. Excuse me. And for the non-banks and banks financial intermediaries performing quasi-banking functions, for the interest, commissions, discounts from lending activities, as well as income from financial leasing on the basis of remaining maturities of instrument from which receipts are derived. Those are the tax base, and then these are the tax rates. If maturity period is 5 years or less, 5%. If the maturity period is more than 5 years, that's 1%. And the dividends and equity shares and net income of subsidiaries, 0%. Royalties, rentals of property, real or personal profits from the exchange, and all other items treated as gross income under Section 32 of the Tax Code as amended. Okay? And for the net trading gains within taxable year of foreign currency, debt securities, and other similar financial instrument, that is 7%. Okay. Of the interest. And for the other non-banks and financial intermediaries, the interest, commissions, discounts, and all other items treated as a gross income under the tax code as amended, that's 5%. The interest, commission, discounts from lending activities, as well as income from financial leasing on the basis of remaining maturities of instruments from which such receipts are derived. That's if the maturity is 5 years or less, 5%. If maturity period is more than 5 years, that's 1%. And for the life insurance company agent corporation, 2% of the total premiums collected. For the agents of foreign insurance companies, for the insurance agents authorized under the insurance code to procure policies of insurance for companies not authorized to transact in the Philippines, 4% of the total premiums collected. Owners of property obtaining insurance directly with foreign insurance companies, 5% of the total premiums paid. For the cockpits, 18%. For the cabarets, night or day clubs, videoke bars, karaoke bars, karaoke television, karaoke boxes, music lounges, 18% of the gross receipts. Boxing exhibitionists, 10% of the gross receipts. Professional basketball games, that is also 15% of the gross receipts. High alay and racetrack, that's 30% of the gross receipts. And the winnings on the horse races, for the winnings on the dividends, 10%. Winnings from the double forecast quinela or trifecta bets, 4%, and the prices of owners on, or the prices of owners of the winning race horses, that is 10%. Okay, those are the percentage tax rates, okay? So what are the transactions and industries included? So the BIR has the following list or transactions that are listed, okay? That are listed as the subject to percentage tax. Okay, so those businesses that I've mentioned, those are in the list of the BIR, which the line of business or industries that are subject to percentage tax. Okay, so let's have the following illustration. Okay, Carrera bought a ticket and put his bet on a race of a horse Flash Atras, who eventually won the race. The ticket is 200 pesos, okay, and the price on the winning ticket is 20,000. And for the winning horse is 200,000. Okay? So determine the percentage taxes of Carrera and the owner of Flash Atras. So means there are two gross receipts there. The first is the winning ticket of Carrera and the winning horse, which is the owner of Flash Atras. So what we are looking for is to compute for the percentage tax of Carrera as winning ticket and for the owner of Flash Atras for the winning horse. So going back to this, let's go to the winnings on the horse races because the problem is about the winnings on the horse races. So for the Flash Atras, 10% of the prices of the winning horses And for Carrera, 10% on the winnings or dividends on the winning ticket. Okay, so the computation is just simple. The price of Carrera, 20,000, less the cost of ticket, which is 200 pesos. So the net winnings is 19,800. So then we should multiply the tax rate of 10%. So the percentage tax on amusement of Carrera on the horse winnings is 1,980,000. Okay, for the winnings of the owner plus atras, so what is the tax or the percentage tax? So the price is 200,000 times 10%. So the percentage tax on amusement, that is 20%. Okay, that is a simple computation because the percentage tax is subject to final tax depending on the problem or the gross receipts originated from those line of business or industries with which we tackled. Okay, so how do we file or how can we file for the percentage tax? In accordance with the BIR's tax advisory, the percentage tax shall now be processed quarterly using the BIR form of 2551Q. So before, the percentage tax should be filed on a monthly basis, but because of the revised National Internal Revenue Code, the percentage tax can file as the quarterly base in a form of a BIR form of 2551Q. The updated version of the form also comes up with the additional alphanumeric tax codes subject to the provisions of the trade law. So when to file for the BIR form of 2551Q? Okay, the deadline for the filing of the quarterly percentage tax is every 25th day of the month or on or before the 25th day of the month after the taxable quarter. Example, today example is year 2021. So this is the last quarter of 2021, October, November, and December. So for whatever earnings from October, November, December 2021 as the last quarter, the deadline of filing for the quarter percentage tax is January 25 of 2022 or on or before January 25 of year 2022. So what are those penalties? So what are those penalties when the taxpayer have failed to file for the percentage tax? The taxpayer will be sanctioned if the taxpayer fails to file and pay the quarterly percentage tax return on or before the deadline, failure to file a return in the wrong venue or the wrong RDO code, failed to pay the full or part of the amount of the tax due, and failed to pay the deficiency tax, and failure to file and filing a false or fraudulent tax return or a wrong tax, there's also a penalty. So if those taxpayers committed the following failures, then there will be penalties or sanctions that the BIR is going to verdict. Okay, remember in our discussion that the government is not powerless when it comes to the collection of taxes and to give their jurisdictions for those people who are failure to pay or to file for their taxes. So that is our topic for today, and that is the percentage tax.